Hi, I'm Jo. I'm the founder and principal architect of Archisoul Architects. I'm here today to discuss our 3 core values. Our first value is contextual sustainability, and this relates to the following points. Firstly, the site parameters and challenges of how it relates to the site. This takes into account passive design principles such as solar access, north light orientation, breezes, views, neighbours, as well as climatic inputs like wave impact zones, geothermal constraints, and earth energy grids, and many more. Secondly, some sites have Aboriginal songlines running through them, and some have underwater grids, which are detected. Lastly, these encompass the overarching activation of the inherent beauty of the site. Our second core value is economical sustainability. And this is about the fact that we live in a world with a global economy and we exchange value and currency with transactional energy. This energy is also about working towards a feasible and workable budget and being fiscally responsible and managing the budgetary process. The energy of understanding that value of architect and client entering a process together of valued commitment is about ensuring the end vision is met. The understanding of the products and materials to be applied to the saving of money in terms of energy consumption and recycling for the lifetime of the building. The understanding of where the building materials come from and how they are tested and managed is intrinsic to the process. For example, a product based on unethical methodologies, such as child slave labour, is not a viable exchange of value and energy. Our third core value is social sustainability, and this is about how we relate to each other as humans. We are naturally social beings and organise ourselves into communication that resonates with our core value. When spaces are curated in an organised and structured way, they can encourage social interaction. Architecture is really about human involvement within the spaces created. Great architecture must be designed to harmoniously reflect this. This is evident in carefully constructed activated zones within public and private spaces, spaces where people can quietly retreat alone to or get together, thereby enhancing social interaction. Our DNA is programmed to connect with other souls in a joyful way, and architecture is a great curator of this. If the architectural design does not reflect this core value, it can be experienced as a dead or depressing space. Social sustainability is really about creating joy and DNA-activated healing to bring about harmony within ourselves. Here is an example of a house where we've used these principles. Here we are at the Coleroy Cliff House. The client came to us to design a renovation of an old rundown house on a very steep site on a south-facing block with expansive views across Dee Why, Lagoon and the ocean. As part of our contextual sustainability principle, we study the constraints of the site. One of the major challenges with this site is that the views are to the south and that the sun is to the north, which is the street side. So how do we get that precious solar north light into the house and still enjoy the view? We created this stairwell, and the stairwell is also acting as a light well, and that light well draws the north light through and into the rest of the house. We also created a front courtyard with a water feature that allows light and sun to bounce back into the house. The passive design principles are therefore met. One of the other site constraints was this quite an old and majestic tree, and we wanted to work the house right up to the edge of it so that when you came down the stairs, the centre line of the pool guides you straight to the centre line of the tree, and it really adds to the beauty of the pool. The strong southerly winds are infamous on the northern beaches. So how do we mitigate these? By using commercial grade windows and strategically placed offset angles. The steep site meant the levels had to be carefully reworked and create some split level scenarios as the house tilted itself down the steep face. The concept evolved from these constraints alongside the client's brief and wish to desire a house like a resort. They wanted to feel like they're on a holiday, a house that made them feel warm, welcomed and organised for how they live. The concept became known as the activation and embodiment of the Sydney sandstone and cliff faces with jagged outcrops and angled facades. The economic sustainability comes from the passive design principles whereby the north light penetrates into the house. This results in energy consumption saving. The budget was also monitored by the client as an evolving process, as well as being monitored by the owner builder and managing it himself. The aspect of social sustainability of the house has been designed to allow for the areas socialising and entertaining. The two living areas meant the children can get away from the parents and have their own sovereign space to explore their boundaries as they grow older. The two living areas have the lap pool, the parents' retreat, and the living area downstairs. This is the parents' retreat, a beautiful space with light from the north, light from the south, and it's more like a resort in their bathroom area. They can sit and relax. It's like a holiday coming back from work. It's their place where they feel like they're the most relaxed. They have a beautiful view, and this is the most gorgeous parents' retreat. The use of the four elements, earth, wind, fire, and water, form a part of the design elements that create our intrinsic DNA recognition of balance and harmony. These elements, when combined with the house, engender healthier social sustainability outcomes. The earth element provides us groundedness to the land and visual connection to it. The fire element provides solar penetration and warmth on our senses. The wind element provides breezes, fresh air, and the effects of these on our senses. The water element is reflected in the sea, the pond, water features, and the tranquility and calm, and they flow into our senses. Now, these four elements all contribute to the social sustainability for this house.